ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Congress spent months negotiating the second COVID relief bill passed late yesterday by both chambers. But tonight, there's a possibility President Trump may not sign it. Good evening. I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Thanks for joining us on this very busy Tuesday night. On Twitter today, the president released a video calling the bill a disgrace. Among his grievances, the amount being paid directly to Americans. Right now, that bill calls for $600 for people who qualify.
I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple. I am also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation.
That led to a message of support from an unlikely source, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She said, quote, Democrats are ready to bring this to the floor this week by unanimous consent. Let's do it.
Meanwhile, President-elect Joe Biden says the coronavirus relief package is just the first step. In an address to the nation today, Biden said he will put forward a plan early next year to help more.
We'll need more help to fully distribute the vaccine. We're going to need more testing in order to be able to open our schools. We're going to need more funding to help firefighters and police, many of whom are being laid off as I speak.
Biden also urged Americans to follow all coronavirus precautions during Christmas.
Former East County Congressman Duncan Hunter will spend no time in prison despite pleading guilty to a felony campaign fraud charge in 2019. President Trump pardoned Hunter late this afternoon. Our ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains why the president is giving Hunter the pass.
For nearly a decade, Hunter and his wife Margaret spent upwards of $250,000 in campaign contributions on lavish vacations, sports tickets, fancy dinners, and living expenses while falsifying spending reports. The former congressman spent months blasting the federal charges as politically motivated. Then, in December 2019, he pleaded guilty to one felony conspiracy count, making this brief statement outside court.
I failed to monitor and account for my campaign spending. I made mistakes, and that's what today was all about.
Hunter resigned in January and in March was sentenced to 11 months in prison, a term he was expected to begin serving in 2021. But Hunter will remain a free man. On Tuesday, President Trump pardoned Hunter, one of his most staunch supporters.
We all know that Donald Trump regards loyalty as very important. So in that regard, this could definitely be seen as rewarding the loyalty that Duncan Hunter showed by supporting him so early in his campaign.
In a statement, the White House noted that the case could have been handled civilly with the Federal Elections Commission. Margaret also pleaded guilty to one count and was sentenced to 8 months home confinement. The couple is now in divorce proceedings. Congressman Darrell Issa, who will replace Hunter in Congress, said in a brief statement he is glad the Hunter family can spend Christmas together with a fresh outlook on life. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
Hunter's former rival in that race for the district, Amar Campenajar, tweeted this out tonight, in part saying that Donald Trump would pardon the lawless, reckless, and shameful actions of Duncan Hunter is both disappointing and predictable. Hunter stole from his supporters, blamed his wife, left an entire district without representation for a year, and launched the most xenophobic attack in modern politics.
It's frustrating. It's kind of annoying to constantly get out your generator and power stuff up.
Thousands of San Diegans could lose power just days before Christmas. SDGE has warned more than 31,000 people they could have their power shut off due to potential strong winds and increased fire danger. We have team coverage tonight. ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura spoke with an East County business owner bracing for a possible power shutoff.
The business owner I spoke with has been through a power shutoff earlier this month, so she knows what to expect, but it doesn't make it any easier.
This time I rolled my eyes and I'm like, again?
That was Anna Maria Kent's reaction when she received a notice from SDGE saying the power to her business could be turned off. She and her mom own Cleveland Cafe in Alpine. She says she and other business owners have already been hit hard by the pandemic. If her business loses power, it will make serving customers more difficult.
From recent experiences, we are just going to lose our point of sale. So what we're going to do is just only take cash only. because we can't accept credit cards. It won't process anything.
SDG&E has warned more than 31,000 customers of a potential public safety power shutoff. This map on the SDG&E site shows the communities impacted. It includes Alpine, Ramona, Escondido, and Poway. The potential SDG&E power shutoffs are due to Santa Ana winds being forecasted. A red flag warning takes effect from Wednesday morning to Thursday at noon. If a fire starts, the winds could cause it to spread quickly, elevating the wildfire risk. On December 2nd, a red flag warning was in effect when the Willow Fire broke out in Rancho San Diego. It quickly grew to 30 acres before firefighters got it under control. It destroyed a home and damaged 6 other structures. So Kent says she gets why SDG&E is being careful. She hopes her business doesn't lose power, but she's preparing just in case.
So we just have a generator for the home, but if the business needs it, we're obviously going to prioritize the business over our home.
Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
And meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking those conditions and how long they're going to last. Hi, Angelica.
Hi, Lindsay. We understand the frustrations. We've had Santa Ana winds pretty much every week. And as we go into tomorrow, they could be quite potent, quite powerful, and potentially damaging, bringing down trees and power lines, which could potentially start a fire. So shutting off power, it's a really good idea. As we look now at the current conditions, you can see those winds are turning out of the east, but it's not too windy. Red flag warning, including valleys, foothills, and mountains until Thursday. And it'll be tomorrow morning when the winds will start, but they will get much stronger through the course of the day, and especially overnight Wednesday into Thursday. I'll show you what to expect during that time period and also what the temperatures will look like as we go towards Christmas.
Angelica, thank you. An emotional moment today as California got its new senator to replace Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. The conversation was recorded when Governor Gavin Newsom surprised his pick for the job, Secretary of State Alex Padilla.
Can you imagine what Mom would be thinking now as I ask you if you want to be the next U.S. Senator of the United States, the great state of California?
You serious?
This is the official, this is the ask, brother.
I'm honored, man. And I'm humbled.
Quite a moment. Padilla will be California's first Latino senator. He grew up in L.A. as the son of 2 immigrants from Mexico. He was a city council member and state senator before being elected to Secretary of State. Padilla will fill the rest of Harris's term. That seat is up in 2022. And it did not take long for Governor Newsom to find a replacement for Padilla. Shortly after, the governor named longtime San Diego legislator Dr. Shirley Weber as Secretary of State. Elected to the Assembly in 2012 and one of the most respected members of the California legislature, Dr. Shirley Weber has earned a reputation for tackling tough issues at the state capitol, including police reform, education, and racial injustice. Governor Newsom tweeted this about the 72-year-old, calling her a fearless advocate with unimpeachable integrity and moral clarity. There is no one better suited for the job of Secretary of State than Shirley Weber.
Hopefully jump in and share with the audience their experience and their recommendations.
Weber, known for her powerful speeches during legislative debates on the Capitol floor, didn't even address her nomination in a virtual panel on COVID in the Black community. Fitting for her humble nature, considering this historic designation. Weber, who will become California's first Black Secretary of State, released this statement. Becoming the first African-American woman in this position will be monumental, and I'm up for the challenge. Being at the center of voting rights and laws that govern this state is a motivating factor in the work I will continue to do.
Another milestone that she has reached and another glass ceiling that she has shattered, and we're all just so proud of her.
Weber spent 40 years as a teacher and then began her political career here in San Diego, serving as president of the San Diego Board of Education and chair of the Citizens Equal Opportunity Commission before she was elected to the Assembly. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, who served with Weber in the Assembly, had this to say about her. Shirley Weber embodies what it means to be a public servant. I've had the privilege to watch my fellow San Diegan in the Assembly, and she's elevated the voices of those who have had traditionally gone unheard and fought for all of us. And you might remember it was Weber who served as chair of California's Electoral College, announcing the state's 55 electoral votes, which cemented the selection of President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
A deadly crash at the San Ysidro port of entry held up traffic at the border this afternoon. Authorities say a man in his 20s hit two Mexican pedestrians, then crashed and died moments later. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala joins us with how this wild scene unfolded right near the border into San Diego.
Traffic here at the San Ysidro port of entry is back to normal tonight after a deadly crash involving a 27-year-old from California. This was the scene Tuesday afternoon at the San Ysidro port of entry. CHP officers say at about 2 p.m., a 27-year-old man from Santa Ana, California was attempting to cross into the U.S. when officers say he drove across the port of entry at a high rate of speed, crashing straight into a metal swing arm barricade. He died at the scene. Sky 10 capturing the destroyed gray sedan he was driving as it sat in the number 28 lane while authorities investigated. Tijuana police say before that crash, the car also hit a 70-year-old man and a 49-year-old woman who was in a wheelchair on the Mexican side of the border. Witnesses say the two victims were working as street vendors. You can see the mangled wheelchair left in the road. The two were taken to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. We are told the two victims are expected to survive their injuries. At this point, we don't have any additional information on the driver or why he was trying to speed through here. Of course, we will follow this closely and bring you any updates as we get them. Reporting at the San Ysidro port of entry, Mimi Alcala.